6 used cars to avoid for bad engines, Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports, a name that rings a bell for most of us, it's the place we turn for the insights on, well, just about everything, including our four-wheeled companions. Sure, some folks raise an eyebrow at their verdicts, but there's no denying it's a touchstone for many Americans seeking dependable info. Many Americans thought of it as a compass for navigating the car buying maze. I certainly do, and if you hop into this platform and make your car buying decision, then this episode is tailored to fit you. Hello car aficionados, this is Joe from Carland TV, and in this video I've compiled a list of used vehicles that, according to Consumer Reports, should be avoided because of their bad engines. Before I start, I'd like to ask you the favour of hitting the subscribe and notification bells. They help the channel a lot. Now, let's get back to the video. 2013 Kia Sorento. The 2013 Kia Sorento has its share of die-hard fans. Over time, it's carved out a reputation as a sought-after vehicle, especially in the used car market. Its straightforward features have won over many loyalists. While the Sorento offers plenty to admire, it comes with different problems, specifically with its engine. A significant number of owners have grappled with engine woes pretty early on into the car's life. Taking a cue from Consumer Reports, it might be wise to think twice before investing in a used model for this particular year. One common problem reported is engine stalling, with most complaints clustering around the 63,000 mile mark. Some owners found relief with repairs that were relatively easy on the wallet, averaging about $100, but in most cases, owners of the vehicle had to replace the camshaft sensor, opt for a premium oil additive, or swap out the throttle actuator control entirely. But that's not the biggest problem that looms over a used 2013 Kia Sorento. After all, it is known to suffer from total engine failure. It's a nightmare scenario, and for some 2013 Sorento drivers, it became a reality, typically rearing its head around 80,000 miles. Repairing the engine might cost you about $6,000 or more. For some, this hefty price tag dwarfed the car's worth, leading many to throw in the towel on their once beloved Sorento. 2015 Volvo XC60. The XC60 has been gracing our roads for quite a while now. It's always been a head-turner thanks to the sharp looks and sophisticated interiors. Plus, it's not just about the looks, it drives wonderfully too. Despite its stylish veneer, this car is practical to its core, offering ample space for families and a host of handy features. But here's a hiccup. These four-cylinder engines of the Volvo XC60 are exclusive to its front-wheel drive variants. The older 6-cylinder engines with their 6-speed automatic transmissions remain, at least for now. Used models of the Volvo XC60 are still around today, and you can buy them at affordable rates. However, Consumer Reports advises not to attempt it anymore, as it has raised multiple problems with its engine. Specifically, it suffers from engine knocking, excessive oil consumption, and engine failure because of oil leakages. And whenever you start the engine, it generates a loud whine that seems to be off-putting. 2011 Hyundai Sonata. The mid-size marvel that Hyundai isn't just a flagship. It's a favourite for many. It's a blend of contemporary features and trustworthiness, all wrapped up with an appealing price tag. While many Sonata years have kept drivers smiling, 2011 stands out, and not in a good way. An eye-popping 800 complaints were raised against the specific model year in car complaints. To put that in perspective, that's 3 times as many problems as any other year. Consumer Reports didn't just pull engine problems out of thin air when they were tagged it up in their top concern for the 2011 Sonatas. Dive deeper and you'll see over 100 dismayed owners voice concerns about its engine. Not to mention, the NHTSA clocked in another 700 grievances relating to its engine. Topping the charts with 175 counts is the alarming issue of total engine failure. Car complaints were ahead and slapped it with the title of #1 worst overall Sonata problem. It usually rears its head around the 94,000 mile mark and sets owners back a whopping $5,100 on average for repairs. They've even slapped it with a severity rating of 9.2 out of 10. That's not the end. Several owners have faced abrupt engine stalling, noisy engine ruckus, and insatiable oil consumption. These are not just a few grumbles. The problem is significant enough for Hyundai to pull back the mammoth 470,000 Sonatas from both 2011 and 2012 off the roads. If you're considering this car, it might be wise to take a pause. 2013 BMW X3. The 2013 BMW X3 stood tall among luxury crossover SUVs when it was released on the market. It had impeccable safety ratings, a lively drive, and a smooth ride that gave it an edge. And let's talk about its interiors. It is posh and spacious, making you feel like you're in the cockpit of a sports car rather than an SUV. But not all that shines is gold. Delving into car complaints, one can spot some worrisome feedback. Engine failure reports are quite evident. The site slammed this issue with its grimmest score, a daunting 10 out of 10. If you're doing the math, these failures typically reared their head around the 91,000 mile mark, and it's pretty costly to deal with. It could cost someone around $6,500 on average to either make over the serious engine or replace it entirely. Now, early reviews were glowing. J.D. Power lauded the X3 with a pristine 5 out of 5 for reliability. Yet, Consumer Reports had reservations. Their forecast, a mere 1 out of 5 for reliability, citing significant concerns with the engine and drive system. Moreover, some 2013 BMW X3 owners have faced the grim fate of timing chain failures, usually occurring around 88,000 miles, and similar to its engine, it's not cheap to get this problem fixed. So, based on the facts, it's safe to say that you should avoid buying a used 2013 BMW X3. 2012 Subaru Forester. Personally, I'm a fan of the Subaru Foresters, and I'm not alone on this. The Subaru Forester has long been the go-to for folks craving that sweet spot between a spacious station wagon and a practical SUV. And with Subaru's signature symmetrical AWD system under its belt, it's built for the rough and tough right out of the gate. Yet despite its seemingly perfect construction, Forester's reliability hasn't been without a few prickly issues, as flagged by Consumer Reports. Oil guzzling is one head-scratcher. The 2012 model in particular has a curious thirst for oil. Owners found themselves pouring in oil more frequently than they'd like to. Some reported that their vehicles drank up a startling amount in the blink of an eye, and the sneaky thing didn't always sound the low oil alarm. But the worst-case scenario was experienced by a few drivers who experienced total engine failures, all thanks to critically low oil. At the same time, the 2012 Subaru Forester is also known for its sudden acceleration. And it could happen even if you aren't stepping on the gas pedal. This ghost acceleration gripped a handful of Foresters, catching drivers off guard with its unexpected surge. And then there's the tale of the clutch calling it quits a tad too early. After my independent research, I found one owner who complained that the clutch of his 2012 Forester gave up only at the 74,000 mile mark. There were telltale signs though, such as the ominous grinding sound signaling that all wasn't well in the transmission department. With these engine-related problems, buying a used 2012 Subaru Forester might not be a good idea. 2014 Kia Optima. The Kia Optima, particularly the models from 2011 to 2014, carries a bit of notoriety under its hood. Consumer Reports is correct in calling this one out. A significant engine manufacturing hiccup. This glitch might cause the bearings to degrade quicker than they should, potentially leading to a full engine meltdown. A hazard that doesn't bode well for road safety. But here's some good news. Kia rolled out a recall in 2017, so if you own one of these Optimas, keep an eye out on your mailbox. Kia might foot the bill for a brand new engine assembly. Otherwise, just avoid the 2014 Kia, especially the used ones. There's a plethora of engine problems that crashed the 2014 Kia Optima from the limelight, such as its starter problems. Many owners claim that the Optima's engine suddenly became unresponsive, but the most frustrating part is when they sent their vehicles to the dealerships for diagnostics. And after some tests, their engines were actually fine. No definitive culprits behind this ghostly engine shenanigans, but some folks solved this problem by switching out the parking sensor or battery. The 2014 Kia Optima is also known for its audible knocking noises, which, in turn, could lead to full engine failure. And it could lead to expensive repairs, with some people facing up to $5,000 tab for the full engine replacement. And that completes our list. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and share buttons. I know it's a chore, but it helps the channel a lot. Until next time, drive safely.